Hi guys, JurassicJunkie here, and this week I've kicked it to the man, and I'm 100% gamer. Welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So, before we go into it, I just want to say one thing. Every week, well not every week, but majority of the weeks I tend to get a message from somebody saying that Spawn comic is wonky, and I always forget, and I've only just remembered this second as I was about to press record, and then I just realised like it's blue tacked on. It's going to be a lot of hard work to try and line it up, so it's going to be wonky for another week, sorry. So before we go any further, I've not drank a beer I don't think in about 2 weeks now due to the non-smoking, so I'm a non-smoker of 3 weeks, get in, and I'm going to treat myself to a beer. And I grabbed a beer when I was in the shop today, and then I found this one, and I had to buy it instantly. It just sounds good. And it's called Innis and Gunn. And it actually says on the front of it, it's an oak-aged beer, which is a smooth Scottish beer with hints of toffee, vanilla, and oak. So to me, that sounds like the win. So let's give old Innis and Gunn a taste. Fragrance is good. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's a good tasting beer. It's obviously claims it's got toffee and vanilla in there, but it's not too strong, because if it was an over vanilla-y taste, then it becomes sickly if you drank too much of it. That's just right. It's a beer just with the tiny underlines of the taste of what it says. That is nice, and also it's 6.6%, so that's positive. I'll be playing Dead Island a bit battered. You might be saying as well, JurassicJunkie, you're wearing a shirt, you're looking pretty small, what's on your shirt? Well, I'll tell you, it's actually a custom-made shirt which has got every single map from all the Fallout games on there. So, as you can see there's... Oh, you're so gullible! No, it didn't, it's just Nirvana Desert, something like that. Anyway, about me kicking it to the man. As I spend all my time gaming, filming about gaming, watching gaming, writing about gaming, or programming a gaming website, that leaves me very little time to watch television. And Jo is the same, she doesn't watch much TV at all. So we kind of looked at it this week and went, do we need television? And we came to the assumption, no we don't. So we phoned up Virgin and we cancelled our TV package, which has saved us a nice pretty penny. And also, the best thing in the entire world, I got to phone up the TV licence and cancel it. Now I don't know how it works in America or anywhere else, but in the UK we have to buy a TV licence because the BBC have decided that they don't want to put adverts on their TV programmes. So we get to watch it without adverts, but in return we have to buy a licence. So practically if you receive a signal, you have to buy a licence, which is really, really annoying. It works out about £11 a month. So all in all you're talking about £120 a year, just because they don't want to put adverts on the television. So yeah, anyway, I phoned them up and I says, I'm cancelling my direct debit, I don't want to pay for a TV licence anymore. So he questioned me and says, why, can I ask? And I says, yeah, I don't watch TV. He says, well, do you receive it on your TV, the internet, via mobile phone, via gaming device? He says, no, none of the above, I just game. I don't even watch movies, I just game. And he says, well that's fine, I can cancel it for you. So I cancelled that, so now I have got no Virgin bill, and I've got no TV licence bill. And the best thing is that I was checking this week, and because I blew all that money on the PlayStation 3 at the start of the month, I'm actually skint to the point where tomorrow I was going to go into town to sell my Dead Island. Not because I don't like it, it's because that's the most expensive game that I own at the moment, and I probably could turn it into about £35. So that was the plan, until I received a letter from them today, the TV licence company, and says apparently I'd paid 6 months in advance for my TV licence. So I got some cashola back, and they gave me 50 quid, so I've drawn that out today, and that has helped pay for this. And we're going to go into town and blow it on some more games, because I'm an addict. Well, a bit of bread and milk, but apart from that, more gaming. So, just because the PlayStation 3 is new to me, I just want to say one or two things about it, and that is fucking updates. I started playing Uncharted 2 last night. Chucked it in, updates come on, I was going to guess that was going to happen. And I looked at it and it said 10 meg. I was like, oh awesome, so I'll just go and put the kettle on, and within the time of me flicking a switch 10 meg should be done. And I went back in and then it says like 111 meg. I was like, what's going on? Why did you lie? You just said 10. And then I checked and it says like 2 of 9 updates. So not only have I got to do 9 updates, I've got to do 9 installs. Like, why make you think that it's not going to be as long and then just go, oh, we're actually lying. There's plenty of updates and installs to do. So I don't know why they don't just say, like Microsoft does, there's 0%, there's 100%, the bar's there. When it gets to there, that's all of it done. That's your process done. Whereas Sony just loves to go, right, you're done for this part, then you got that part, then this install, that update, that update. Why aren't they all in one big file? I don't understand. But yeah, I'm not going to go on anymore. It's just, I looked at it and went, now, and I had to wait another 10 minutes, 15 minutes to actually get into a game, which is damn annoying. So, many of you may have got an email this week from EA under the name of Origin. I've just bit my tongue. I generally just bit my tongue. So the name isn't called Origin, it's Origin. And it's EA's attempt at like Steam. Obviously they want to try and sell games online. And good on them, I've got no problems with that. And to try and entice people into buying games via Origin, they are doing an offer at the moment, which is pretty cool. If you buy, or pre-order, sorry, Battlefield 3, then they'll throw in Dead Space 2. Now, that's not just any old crappy boring game, you know what I mean? That's a decent title that they're giving away. So that's good. I would buy it myself, but I'm a console gamer at heart, so I can't see myself buying it for the PC. But then, in small print, it says while stocks last. What stocks? You are virtually selling this game. This game is software. When you sell it to somebody, you don't take it from a pile and give it them, you replicate it. It just copies itself, clones and spits itself out on the other end of the internet. When will this stock deplenish? What are you talking about, EA? So that's a bit of a... I thought, yeah, don't get me wrong, good on you, try and earn some money, but then doing something like that, a lot of gamers would be going like, oh, I'll order it from there, I'll get that free, and the stocks might have deplenished, may have gone, and you might not get your free game. And I thought, EA, that was a bit cheeky of you. I've just noticed as well, normally when I do the Friday Night Rant, I actually turn my computer off because it hums. And I've just noticed I haven't done that, so if it's hummed for the first 5 minutes or so, I do apologise. And the other thing I must apologise actually is this keeps on coming open and it's like got some Austin Powers thing going on down there, so moving on. So one cool thing that I wanted to talk about this week is Flash. Adobe Flash 11 is to be released, I think, in a month. I did have the date, but I just turned the computer off and now the date is gone. But yes, Adobe 11 is on its way out, and you may be going, oh, JurassicJunkie, why would you tell me such information? Well, you may have seen in a previous video I was talking about HTML5 being released, and it's very powerful and it can play videos like the Flash player used to. So it looked like it was going to perhaps replace Flash, and that's exactly what Apple wanted to do because they've never allowed Flash on their iPhones. But Flash have gone away, they've looked at themselves and they'll come back now even more powerful, and what they're doing is they're going to be pushing the online gaming side. So at the moment obviously you can have your Flash games and they're fun, but they seem to be, for me personally, just quick 5-minute games. And like when you play games on Facebook, they're all like these small Flash games, they're not very powerful, and some, don't get me wrong, have utilised Flash in the correct way and they really are bigger and better than other games, but still Flash itself is kind of stopping some developers go out and do what they want to do. So with Flash Player 11 and Adobe Air 3 combined, apparently now they're going to be able to release console-style graphics. So obviously I would assume this all depends on the actual hardware that you're running on your machine, but nonetheless, some of the videos that I've actually seen of like 3D tanks going around and shooting each other, and don't get me wrong, the 3D stuff has been done before already through Flash browsers, but this really looked like a game. But the video that I watched was actually of a tank going down a street, and it went over a grate, and underneath the grate was a light, and the light kind of went through the grate and it split off and hit some fog and hit the tank in different ways, and I was like, you know what, I've never really seen good lighting in a Flash game ever. So already just seeing that I was like, yeah, you feel like you're actually pushing the boundaries, so that's going to be quite interesting. Obviously Adobe have got to like reinvent Flash to try and justify itself on the internet now that HTML5 is going to be so powerful. So with that, playing games through your browser will actually become more powerful, and that's always good for us gamers. And also it just means that now when you go onto Facebook or social networking websites where they've got built-in games, instead of just playing your normal Farmville, you may be able to play more things like Left 4 Dead and stuff like that. So it will be interesting to see exactly what Flash are going to be bringing in the next few months. Two pieces of news that I read this week and I kind of Don't need to want to talk about it, but I just thought that's pretty cool. And the first one is that Dark Souls has been released, and when it was released in Japan, obviously anybody that was playing it a few days early probably had an illegal copy. So instead of crying over spilt milk or anything like that, the developers was quite clever, and they decided to put some Black Phantoms into the game, which are level 145. So to me and you or anyone who's not played it, that makes no sense. But by the sounds of it is, they've made these monsters so powerful you can't kill them and you would die, which is kind of cool. So to try and stick it to the people who've illegally downloaded the game, you'll go straight out there and get your ass handed to you, which I thought was kind of cool. There's nothing I can really speak on top of that apart from I read it and went, good on you developers. The other piece that I wanted to talk about, very quick again, but it made me go, ah. And it was a kid. Again, I think it was in Japan, very true Japanese stories. And this kid left his bag, his rucksack, on a table to claim the table, left Gunga his pop rocks, his drink or whatever he was getting on, and then come back with his Kool-Aid and find his bag was gone, stolen, along with his portable device. We don't know if it was a PSP, a Nintendo, we don't know what it was, but it kind of sounds like it would be a DS. And this DS was stolen, and they obviously went to lost and found, normal stuff, never turned up, got stolen. And yeah, that was the end of it. Until a month or so down the line, the dad was like, right, we've got you a new DS, or whatever console it was, and let's go back and buy all the games that were stolen. So he went straight in and brought a game that the son was missing, that he originally owned, and he went back home, turned it on, and noticed all his saved games was there. So they went back to the shop and says, well, I think we've just brought our own stolen game back. Have you got a record who sold this to the shop? Which they did, and it got back to the police to find out it was a 50-year-old man that had stole it, and he was quickly arrested, which is kind of cool. So I just thought I'd have to say that, because when I read it I thought, that's a nice story. So that's it really. It's not a jam-packed Friday night rant, but nothing's actually particularly happened this week that's taken my interest. So I'm going to go now and play some Dead Island, just because I'm really enjoying that game. I'm so glad I got it. I think co-op is absolutely amazing. I've not been interested at all to turn it on by myself, so I just do think it's a proper good co-op game. At the moment I'm stuck down in the sewers, which is a bit depressing, and it's not as fun as being on the beach, but we've heard the next step we're going to take is going to be even more fun. So if you've got that far, please don't put it in the comments, because if you do, you'll anger me. So to the question of the week. So speaking of the dead or the undead, whatever you want to claim the zombies are, if you could have the power to bring back a development company from the dead, so somebody that's gone under, liquidation, split up, whatever it be, if you could bring a development company back, which company would that be and why? Mine would have to be this beautiful company, Bullfrog. Because as a kid, just the word Bullfrog just says computer games to me. And also, if Bullfrog come back from the dead, that means I'll probably have a Dungeon Keeper 3 game in my hand. So that's who I would pick. If you could bring any development company back from the dead, who would it be? So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm going to sit back, drink some Innis and gun, and shoot some zombies. Cheers, guys. Bye. Under the name of Origin. I've just bit my tongue.
Under the name of Origin. I've just bit my tongue.